Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. First of all, I just want to start out by saying congratulations to all the nominations for the Oscars. And I'm actually surprised there's a lot of genre films this time involved in it. And we've had genre films win stuff before, but a lot of these names, usually when you watch Oscars, you're like, I have never heard of that movie. And nope, never heard of that. But all of these movies I've actually heard of, and not just because I'm more into the movies now, but I've actually heard about them. I've actually watched them, so that's great to hear. And there's a lot of here that I have never watched before, and unfortunately I'll have to catch up and watch some of this stuff, but I'm more into the genre films anyway. But it's really cool to see some of these films make it. I mean, Best Picture for Get Out, like, that was a horror film, and that had one incredible epic ending and just made you cheer for the guy, made you cheer for Chris to have him take out these guys. I mean, it was just phenomenal, and that was awesome. Get Out. And also The Shape of Water, that was kind of like independent, but it had like sci-fi elements to it, and it had a creature in there, so hey, that's down my line, so I have to still watch that. I've not been able to watch that, but I will want to watch that, definitely. But a lot of different stuff. I mean, most of it's all technical anyway, but congratulations, Kong Skull Island, War of the Planet of the Apes, Guardians of the Galaxy, Logan, my god, Logan. I mean, I knew Logan was like Oscar material anyway, so I'm not surprised that it had some of this stuff, but I'm actually really surprised that all the talk about Wonder Woman didn't get any nominations whatsoever, so that's very interesting for me. There's also, of course, Last Jedi, a lot of technical stuff on there. The biggest complaint from Last Jedi was, for me, was the story. It has nothing to do with the technicality. It's a fantastic looking film. It's a fantastic sounding film, so that's not the problem with what I have. But the one thing is, like, the original score, it's getting nominated for original score, and I'm like, well, did we hear that score like 30 years ago? Isn't every Star Wars movie the same score? How can it be an original score? Like, I mean, music that's in Get Out, music that's in Shape of Water, the music that's in Call Me By Your Name, I mean, that's original because that was clearly made for the film of this past year. Star Wars The Last Jedi, I can't remember if there were any new tracks, and I could be wrong. There could be some new tracks in there, but for the most part I hear Star Wars, so I mean, that's okay, whatever. But I'm really happy to see all these different movies, genre type films actually making it into the Oscars, actually being more recognized now, as opposed to just shoot under the rug because it's not your typical independent film. So I'm really happy to see some of these stuff make it into the movie. Blade Runner 2049. Oh, it's beautiful film. So I'm glad that's actually in there. Dunkirk I still have to see. So anyway, for that, congratulations on the nominations. I'm not really into Oscars, but I'm waiting to see who wins this year, who wins Best Picture in all the major categories this year. On to Cloverfield 3. Now, Cloverfield 3 was supposed to come out in April in theaters, but now I guess it's not. Apparently Netflix has bought the picture, and is gonna probably put it on Netflix. I don't know if they're gonna actually wait for Cloverfield 3 to come out in theaters first, like how what was the other movie that's coming out? Annihilation. It was coming out in theaters, and I still think it's going to come out in theaters February, and then come out on Netflix. But for the most part, I think Cloverfield actually might go straight to Netflix. Apparently it was double the budget of the Cloverfield, so it has to actually make money, and maybe Paramount doesn't see it actually making a ton of money in the theaters, so they rather put it on Netflix. And Netflix has been pretty successful lately, and Bright took Netflix to a whole new level, and that was really celebrated by fans and audience, not by critics, but it was celebrated, and almost everybody pretty much watched that movie when it was on Netflix. So one more, I feel like I want to watch Cloverfield 3 in the theaters because I've watched the other two in the theaters, albeit not with many people around me. But I really wanted to watch Cloverfield 3 in theaters. It's a space movie. I want that atmosphere. I want that theater experience for this movie. But I guess I'll go ahead. I have no choice. I'm gonna have to watch it. So Netflix would be the next best thing. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's gonna come out in April now in theaters. I would have loved to watch it in April in theaters and then watch it on Netflix afterwards. But hey, maybe they release it sooner because it's going to Netflix. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Let me know what you think about that. Should it be in theaters, or do you want to watch it Netflix, or do you not even care? Cloverfield 3. I'm really looking forward to this. Netflix or theater wise, I am definitely going to watch that. Now to the meat of this video, and it is about this very interesting pre-vis that came out for Justice League. Some FX artists went on Reddit or somewhere and they started leaking these scenes out. So it starts with Superman turning and to face the Justice League members. Although in this one he has the Superman symbol on the ground, which is really awesome. He turns around, his red eyes, and that's very interesting. So it's going to be maybe a little darker take on that situation. Maybe he doesn't really change good guy really quickly. So there's a little bit more to that. You feel like there's more to that. There's also that toy, by the way, that looks very angry looking. He's not the happy, smiling Superman that we see in the current movie. So that's very interesting in itself. Also, the pre-vis also shows Steppenwolf. And now we always seen the behind the scenes, the concept art for Steppenwolf and how he looked more like the Batman v Superman extra scene where the soldiers come down into the ship and sees him for just a little bit before he vanishes. That bulky looking, more alien figure, not that human figure that he has, human face that he has now. And he looked way better. He looked more menacing. He looked hulkier. He's taking arrows in the back. There's arrows all over him. He's taking them out, and he just looks much more of a menacing monster type alien creature. So we'll never know if that was Zack's original intention or not, or if Joss Whedon actually made that, or Jeff Johns, or this was Zack's intention, but he never had a chance to really work on it or really fix it up. So that'd be very interesting to see online. Maybe 20 years from now, we're going to have the Richard Donner, Zack Snyder cut. But this is also very interesting, where Zack Snyder actually posted on VERO that this is a picture of him at the office, he says, and you see Thomas Wayne in the back in that little picture that they made for Batman v Superman. That's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and he says he's at the office. It clearly looks like a gym or something, but maybe he works out at the office. He says he's at the office, so I don't know. What does that mean? Does that mean he's back? Is Zack's back? Is Zack back? I don't know. So, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see him actually working again, or working out. Or is he actually working again? So that's very interesting. If you guys know him more and know exactly what his office looked like, let me know in the comments below. But I'm looking at this, and if Zack's back at the office, I don't know. Is there a good chance he's actually gonna work on the Zack Snyder cut? Is he actually how Larry Fong says in the past he has always done his own cut of the movie? It has always happened that way. And just like how it already had a release last year, they're actually making a director's cut for this year. So it's possible there, and it's really possible. It's also almost all the time, if a studio can double dip on something, they definitely will double dip on something. And someone actually told me about the Zack Snyder, well, not the Zack Snyder, but the Justice League Blu-ray. How it had all these different features on it, and it says bonus scenes not seen in theater, but there is no deleted scenes, there's no extended scenes, and there's like material not there. Either they're hiding it, or they're waiting for a new version of it later on. And maybe, and for all directors cut, the director has to be involved. And I know we have fans, super fans like Fiona, who don't want to involve him anymore. He has been through enough. I totally understand that. But if he is on is coming back on his own terms, and this is what he wants to do, then let him do it. I mean, if this is what he wants to do, of course let him do it, and I think that will please a lot of fans who want to see what his vision is. Is there enough money to do that? I don't know. Like I said before, it's quite possible they've already budgeted for it. Like, before movies ever even released, they've already budgeted for different, this is our plan of release. We're going to have the original DVD, and then we're going to have the director's cut and everything else. Now, in the past, for Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, they've only had extended cuts. They call it the Ultimate Edition. This is the Ultimate Edition extended cut. Maybe that was bad for publicity. You know, the people didn't go and watch the theaters, go and watch the movie. So maybe this is their way of being like other studios, where this is the cut. That's what you saw in theaters. That is the vision, and then later on they go, oh, okay, here's the director's cut. This is what the director's real vision is. Let's get a little bit more money. We know you already bought the first one, but you're gonna buy this one now. Of course, like a lot of people who I know in the fandom are not going to buy this current version, but if that is true, then there could possibly be a director's cut, especially knowing that there's seemingly a lot of stuff missing from a standard DVD Blu-ray affair, right? So if there's something missing, then it's got to be another version out there that's going to come up, whether it's the complete director's cut or just an extended cut, or it's just another version, an extended version of it with more features that are missing from the standard features from this one, right? So that's just logic for me, and I completely feel that there's more of stuff out there that they're saving for. They're ready to double dip on this. They're ready to triple dip on this. Whatever the case is, I don't know what is actually going to happen, but that's my feelings about it anyway. This is my hope, and if it's true that he is back at the office, if that's he's saying at his office, whether he's working on a new film or he's just there checking things out or he's collecting stuff, I don't know, but if he's there to work, then it could possibly be a Snyder cut, a director's cut version of what he may be working on. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Or do you think that Zack Snyder is actually in the office getting ready to work on the director's cut, or is it another thing altogether, or is it really just his personal gym and he's just ready to start working out and the office is really his gym? And also, what do you guys think about Cloverfield 3? Are you going to watch it on Netflix? Do you want to watch it in theaters? The Academy Awards. What do you think was snubbed the most? Are you happy with what they picked for the Academy? Or are you like a lot of people out there who are not happy that Wonder Woman did not show up in any of the nominations? Alright guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.